Upgrading the stereo in your Ram pickup truck is easier than ever with a screen that is so big, it's almost like them fancy new cars. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Anton, a power engineer, industrial mechanic, and a Red Seal electrician. We cover all kinds of products and topics in an approachable way for the average everyday person. I'm glad you found us. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. We've been using our Dodge Ram for quite a while now with the old classic stereo, and while it works okay, it's certainly not the newest, greatest Android Auto stereo system. That's where something like this from ASure comes in. Now this is a 13.1 inch IPS screen. The specs on this box are truly phenomenal. So let's do a quick unboxing of what comes with the stereo, and then we'll have a look at what's inside this little brown box. Start with a quick unboxing, just see what comes with this thing. So popping this off, we've got a warranty card, we've got a manual, which obviously I'm not going to read, but this will walk you through the interface, it looks like. Tells you how to set up the EQ, steering wheel controls, and all that. But we're gonna look at everything to do with the install in this video anyway, so you probably won't need to read those instructions either. We've got a safety warning in English, and then it looks like we've got the module itself. Now, this thing is massive at 13.1 inches diagonal. It does have, what's that? That's plastic, but it's got an aluminum bezel around here, which is really nice. It's quite premium. The back is your standard Android looking stereo from the back. This is the ASure model brand Kavica. ASure. This is the 2025 Q317 in-car radio. There's even an email address on the back there. That's really interesting. So that's the stereo. Now let's see what else is in here. Presumably, this is just going to be a lot of connectors and stuff, and it is. So we've got this. This is going to be very critical to making this work with our existing Android system. It's also got another bezel here, which also I think we're going to end up using. I'll show you guys all of that at the install stage. It does come with a rear view camera, plenty of wiring, some screws for mounting that. We've also got a whole pile of screws, which I think we're going to use a lot of these. It's got the harness for your microphone and your auxiliary in and out and all of that, as well as a whole nother bag of screws. I got 2 bags of screws. It also comes with a microphone. This is a GPS antenna and a few more brackets, which I don't think we're gonna need. Now, because we're installing this in a Ram, we need to have this special Ram adapter that fits with the stereo. So inside this box, we've got a few more plastic adapter rings. I don't think we use them all. The biggest piece that we need here is this. Now this is suitable for a 2013 to 2019 Ram 1500 or 2500. Now the interesting thing here, it says this is the 9-inch. That's because if we open this up here, what you're gonna find is it actually has a hole for the standard Android stereo system. But since this stereo is 13.1 inches, we're going to use some adapters to make that screen fit. You'll notice it does have all of the holes for your automatic climate control system, so we can remove the factory climate control, install it in here, and retain all of our factory features. It also comes with a number of wires and plugs that are specific to your vehicle. In this case, we're looking at the Ram 1500 or 2500 system. So it's got the adapter block here that plugs right into your factory wiring, and this part will just plug right into the back of the stereo. The most important piece will be this guy right here. Now this is the decoder box. This allows the switches on your steering wheel to function completely and perfectly with the stereo system. So all of your volume up and down, your switch back and forth, your input selection, all of that will still work on the steering wheel as long as you've got this module installed. There's a few other things included, which would be your stereo FM adapter. We've got some USB ports. We've also got an external speaker for the door chime, and GPS antenna and backup camera and more of that stuff. Now that we've seen what's inside the boxes, let's go check out how to do the actual install. Okay, once you're inside the truck, you need to pull the entire trim piece off. The whole thing's gonna come off. So starting at the top, there's a little rubber thing, lift that up. Then there's a couple screws there that you're going to be able to pull out. Those are Torx screws. Once those 2 screws are out, then you also don't want to miss this screw right here. So make sure you grab that one or you might break something. And then with all of those out, you're gonna pry around the edges with a plastic tool, your fingers, a screwdriver, whatever you've got handy. Once you get a couple of those clips released, the rest of it's gonna pull quite easily, and you'll find the whole thing separates forward if you just kind of pull around gently and firmly. Obviously the shifter might get in your way a little bit, but it should all pop off something like this. Now we need to actually remove this entire lower trim piece. So you're going to want to unplug all of the connectors that you see here, every last one of them, until the entire trim piece is separated from the car. After that, you can go ahead and remove the old factory screen because we're not going to use that anymore. This is what it'll look like when it's all removed. Here we are removing the factory screen. Just undo the bolts on each side and then it'll pull forward. Again, we're going to release the main big harness connector here and all of the other connectors. This connector is going to be a little interesting. You have to release it and then the lever is going to lift right up. So I want to show you guys this one a little bit more clearly if possible, just so you don't get stuck at all. Now this guy, we're just getting a screwdriver under there to release it, and then you just flip it up, and as you flip it up, it's going to pull itself out. So you want to kind of pull out while you lift up, and then it'll release completely. That'll separate the old stereo. It's gonna be old, it's gonna be crusty, it might be a little hard to get out, but this will get us ready for the install of the new stereo system. Now, some people say we have to remove all of these. I'm not sure that you do, but if you're having trouble, you can remove all of the screws from all of the other controllers here that are circled and then remove those. That does make access to the center console piece a little bit easier. We're gonna remove all of these screws and then pop this component out from that dash piece. Now we do need to disassemble the panel here. So using a T9 screwdriver, you're gonna undo all of these screws here, and then that'll allow us to pop off the back panel just by prying on the two tabs on each side. So you're just gonna lift those up and then it should pop away. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Now we can remove the main components, but we need to pop the volume and the tuner knobs off. Now be very careful with this, but you're gonna get a screwdriver under there and just kind of pull and pry. It takes a little bit of work, but it can come off with a little bit of effort. Now, if you just kind of lift and push from the center knob, it should release off of the plastic, and then we can get a better look here of what we've got. Now, if you got the right model, we've got the automatic model, so we're gonna use the trim ring that came with that. So reassembly is as simple as popping that right over the front, just like this. It should pop into place, and then sometimes you might need to file down some of the plastic just to make sure that it doesn't bind up on any of your buttons. So just give it a try before you move on to the next step. Moving on to the next step, we're going to plug in the main power harness that was in the back of the stereo. Don't forget to slide that tab down. It's going to give you a huge mess of wires. Now you may not know where all of these wires go, but most of them are done in such a way that you can't connect the wrong wire into the wrong piece. So you're going to use all the little adapters that came with the kit for your FM adapter, your satellite adapter. Don't forget that USB adapter that came with the kit as well. So you're going to plug in the USB port into there and then plug the other end into the stereo. Now again, they can only go one way, so don't worry about that. You're gonna have your main power connector that's got your speakers, your power, and all of that. And you're also going to have the decoder box, which needs to get plugged in. So a lot of wires here. Don't be too afraid of this. It's quite simple. Just make sure you go through and plug every wire into the back of the stereo. Don't forget to connect the backup camera. That's got a separate plug, as you can see here, with the connector that came off of the factory harness. And then one thing that we found was that connector port, it goes in, but it doesn't seem to clip very well. So in our case, it actually popped off. So you might want to just give it a little tug test just to make sure it's not gonna pull out. Otherwise you'll lose your rear view camera functionality. Here are all of the connections. You can see it's a mess, but you just want to plug everything back in, get it all tight, make sure it's all connected before we move on to the next step. Once it's all connected, give them a good tug test, make sure that nothing's popping out or coming out of the back of that stereo, and it should power on once we put it all back together. And here it is, finally all installed, ready to go. Now I want to pair my phone up to this thing, so I'm just gonna do a quick search, and pair to the ASure Bluetooth. Now it wants to connect to Android Auto, so I'm going to say yes. Seems like it's ready to go. So I'm going to push CarLink, and then I think it says okay, so it's connecting. And then what I should get is full Android Auto. And just like that, we have 13.1 inch Android Auto. Now off the bat, I can tell you this screen is massive and it looks absolutely stunning from any angle, from over here and straight on and over there. So it looks really, really good. The nice thing is, for scrolling around, it's actually very responsive. If I want to pull up my Spotify, it works really, really well. Like, it's nice and smooth. There's no glitching, no stalling, no anything. So it works really, really well. Now, I can tell you guys, it sounds great. But if it didn't sound great, we can go like this, we can go home, and then we can go into the EQ, and we will get a full equalizer that we can adjust to sound however we want. And there's a simple EQ for anyone who doesn't want to have to just fiddle with stuff. You can set it to just standard, to soft, whatever. This standard, high, low settings, but you also have a full EQ here where you can adjust all your sound profiles. You can add effects for surround and reverb. You can even turn the bass up a bit. The other thing is, there's a ton of other settings in here where you can turn the front mic on and off. That would be the microphone on here. It's right on the side of the box right here. You can have antenna normally on, reversing, I don't want whatever that is, boot screen logo. So we can change our logo. Currently, Android Auto is the only one, looks like. So we can add another one if we wanted to, but that one's fine. Set screen, we've got front view camera, which I don't have hooked up. Reverse view camera, which I don't have hooked up. If I had the camera hooked up, you would see your reversing and everything. This is HD. It will integrate with your rear sensors if you have some. I don't have any, so that doesn't work. Local reverse switch, that's what I just showed you. Unknown sources, that's for installing stuff. Volume balance settings. Okay, so we can adjust if the volume is too loud on one of your inputs or too quiet on another, you can adjust it. The standard is set to 5, but that's everything. Home launcher selection, USB error detection. So there's a lot of really cool things on here. TV type, nothing. Video output resolution. So this is if you're running outputs to different monitors or something. And there's just a lot of settings that you can do inside there. There's tons of other settings that you can do as well without needing that password. Default volume switch. I need this on because I always park the car and I'm like jamming out to music. And then when I start my truck in the morning, the neighbors don't like that it's just blasting music. So I'm gonna turn that on. Steering wheel settings. So this is where you can adjust your steering wheel controls if you needed to. You can set your navigation app, your fan settings. I wanna leave that on auto because I don't want it getting hot. And then if you wanted to connect to LAN, you could as well to upgrade it and whatever. There's also some apps installed on this right from the start, YouTube, Spotify, but you need a Wi-Fi connection. Now this does have the ability to add a SIM card, but let's be honest, your phone has data anyway, so why would you want a SIM card to run this thing? So if I connect to Wi-Fi and then open Maps, now it's definitely gonna find me here. And then there we've got Google Maps. That's very, very responsive. It's not really glitchy at all. It glitched a little bit there, but that's because it's trying to ask me if I want to update. So I can tell it, yeah, whatever, go ahead and do an update to Google Maps, sure. And then there's a bunch of other apps. You got a calculator, phone, Bluetooth, maps, music, navigation, whatever, Spotify. Here's the radio app. So you've got pre-programmed stations that you can put in. It's pretty good in that sense. I think there's even more. So you can have 7, 8, 9, 12 per band, but you've also got FM3, FM1, FM2. You've got local, you've got all those, everything that you would want with your radio. I'm not gonna use the radio. I use CarPlay. So if I wanna go back, I just press CarLink and then it'll say waiting for the device and then connecting. And then it's gonna say, there we go. Now we're connected to your phone. So I can leave my phone down here out of the way and have this just playing with this massive, massive screen. Now that the install is totally complete, I'm curious what you guys think about this thing. As far as I can tell, this Android system is actually really, really smooth and it works quite well. So if you're looking to upgrade the stereo system in your Ram or your other vehicles, they don't just support the Ram, they have them for a lot of different vehicles. So if you're not sure if your vehicle is supported, you can click the link down below and see what vehicles they have. I have actually successfully installed this in my GMC pickup truck without any issues, but that's because I already had an older Android Auto system, so this just connected straight up with no issue. So if you already have Android Auto in your current car, then you could probably retrofit this one similar to how I did in that other video. So if you want to see how I did that, you can check out the other video where we installed this in that truck. For those of you who are installing it in a Ram, I'll put links in the description where I picked this one up from, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.